I'm close. Hello. There I am. I know it's a Tuesday in the middle of the afternoon. I'm trying to, I was just painting today. Hey Suzanne, hello. What is the deal? Oh, my computer may be acting up. Oops. So I was, I've been painting all morning, my Frankensteins, because I haven't gotten them done yet, and I thought, well, maybe somebody'd want to watch. And I forgot that I said I'd do a video on it, so I have been painting, and I forgot I said I'd share. So anyway, yes, now I've got myself up. Cool, yay, it worked. So I've been working on Frankensteins. Let me show you, hold on just one second. I'll show you what they started off looking like. And I just got these at Hobby Lobby. They're just a styrofoam mannequin head. And, hey Lisa, I'm doing okay. Trying to keep busy. Trying to keep my mind off things. But anyway, so just a styrofoam male head I got at Hobby Lobby. And so they all started off like this. And then I took spackle, and I wish I would have left one not painted so I could show you. I took spackle and I made like scarring. So I kind of like just rolled snakes, and then I pressed down the edges of the snake onto the form, and it created like a ridge that I'm going to use as scars. So after I did that, then I painted everything with Elmer's glue. So I just covered the whole entire thing with a nice thick layer of Elmer's glue. And then I added some dowels. So I cut some wooden dowels and stuck them and glued them in, and then I put spackle around here so it kind of had a good transition. And after the Elmer's glue dried, a couple weeks later when I got around to it, then I put a base coat on this, and I just used this, I have to get my glasses on, this Art Deco paint, and it's called Hauser Medium Green. So that was what I used for the base coat. And then I just took this Folk Art Black, and I painted like recessed, where his recessed eyes are, and then his lips. Then I just took Christmas red of all reds, right? Christmas red. So I took Christmas red, and everywhere that I had where I was going to have the stitches be, I painted red. And then I realized, silly, you shouldn't have done that until you were done dry brushing. So this one I did not paint red because I realized most of the way through that I shouldn't have done that because I'm going to have to go back over it in red anyway. So you can tell a big difference between, so like this face and this face. there's no dimension in this one, and there's dimension in this one. So I was dry brushing to highlight all the imperfections in his face. So I've just been doing that all day, and I just thought, well, and I saw Laura go live earlier because I was actually on Facebook, and Laura Jean from Laura Jean's Wreath Room is my mentor. I'm in her, I don't know, group, her paid group, LJ's Designer Loft, and, you know, she's a mentor, and she was doing that today, and I was like, wow, we're both doing it on the same day. So I just thought I'd go live and see if anybody was interested in seeing how I do this. So anyway, the color that I'm using, I just put it on like a plate. I just put a puddle of paint on my plate, and the color that I had available is just acrylic paint. It doesn't even have a color on it. Wow. It's probably pretty old. I've probably had a couple years, maybe more than a couple years. Oh, Granny Smith. It's called Granny Smith. And it does look pretty lime green, but I think it turns out okay in the highlighting. So I'm going to kind of pan down and focus on him, on these guys, and we'll just paint away. If y'all have any questions. Oh, no, Suzanne, I didn't push the dowel all the way through. I cut these dowels at 2 inches, and then I just like cut a hole in the side and put hot glue in there and shoved it in and had it stick out about 1.5 inches. So it's not all the way through. It's just a little bit on this side and a little bit on this side. And then what I did with the other one, with that, is that I cut a section of just aluminum foil, and I'll cut off just a little bit here. I won't use this on there. But after I'm done painting, then I just glue the aluminum foil on the end and kind of wrap it around, and it looks like that. So, you know, because he had these electrodes in his head, I guess, is what I envision anyway. You're welcome. Thanks for asking questions. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. So I'll pan down here and I'll show you what dry brushing is. And I, by no means, am a professional. I just do what I do because it works for me. So, ooh. There we go. We'll focus in on him just a little bit. And I'll push these guys backwards a little, get them out of my way. So I have here, I call it a dry brush, but I'm not sure like what the technical term is. It's a very dense brush, very hard, and I'm not sure what the technical term for it is, but this is what I use. And so all I do is you stick a little bit of this in there, and then you just want to kind of, only a little, you don't want to do a whole bunch, and you just want to get a little bit of paint on the brush. And then you're going to take your brush over any of the raised areas and just go in different directions, and it's going to catch the high bits and highlight them. So, and that's really all you do. I missed a spot under his chin here. But it just gives your creature or whatever you're making, you know, some highlights and some dimension. So, and you just go over his whole face doing that. And you can see I haven't done anything back here, so he's kind of matte, you know, just kind of plain here. So all I'm doing is taking my brush, and I just washed my brush out because it was getting pretty kind of dried. So right when you put your paint on though, you want to tread pretty lightly until you know what it's going to do, so you don't just do streaks. So, and then once your paint kind of comes off the brush a little bit, then you can just pick up the highlights. See how it just picks up those raised areas? And then you can just, on the big surfaces that don't have a lot, just kind of like do circles or whatever. See how it just picks that up really well? And then you just want to keep going over and over and over and over until you achieve what you're looking for. Now I won't fuss too much on the back of these because most of that, well, I'm putting these in my Etsy store, so I don't know what people will use them for. But usually the back isn't seen. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the back. I'm just going to spend enough time to kind of make it look three-dimensional. I don't prime it. I only paint it with the Elmer's glue. So that's the only thing I like. I guess I use that as my primer, is just the Elmer's glue. And sometimes, depending on what kind of look you're going for, you might have to put a couple coats of the Elmer's glue to get a more smooth surface. So like with this head here that I did, I wish I would have done like a couple more layers of the Elmer's glue, because it would have made her seem a little less porous. Can you tell how porous she is? So if I would have done a few more layers of the Elmer's glue, her face would have been a lot smoother. And if you want kind of a crackly finish on your face, I found that if you use the Elmer's glue clear, the Elmer's glue clear actually will kind of make it kind of like a crackly kind of a finish. I don't know why it does that, but it did for me. The more paint you have on your brush, the less dry brushed it looks and more painted it looks. So you want to make sure you're careful. And if you do anything like that, it's no big deal. Dry off the too much that you had on there and just start doing a little bit, and then you go harder and harder and harder. And it all seems to work itself out. The drier your brush is, the harder you can push. That's why you want to be real careful when you first put on any paint. And we want to get the back of his ears too. So what do you guys think? This works. It looks pretty easy. It is kind of easy. You just have to be careful how hard you push with how much paint you actually have on. But even when you make a mistake and you do like a little glob, you can usually kind of blend it. And like I said, I shouldn't have painted the red because we want all these highlights in the stitching area. So, and you'll notice more, let's see, I'll do this one now. And you'll notice more of a difference right away with this one because he looks so flat, you know, like no life. So I'm just going to put a little bit more paint in here, but I'm going to try and dry a lot of it off too. So watch how this works. See how it just picks up those. You just go over it and over it and over it and go in different directions, and it'll pick up different bits in different directions. Ugh, hold still. I'm just going to try and leave it on the table so it's... But see how that works and picks that up, and just all of a sudden you have so much dimension around that eye. You see the difference? Pretty cool, huh? Oh, thanks, Kara. Hi, Maya. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sharing, you know, if you've got the time, I appreciate it. So we're just painting, I'm just showing some dry brushing techniques that, and I'm not a professional, so if I'm doing something wrong, this just works for me. This is how I do it. So this is how someone showed me years ago, and so it just works for me. So you just want very little on your brush, very, very little. And you just go in different directions, and we're going in some circles to get some of that lighter color on there, because his pigmentation, you know, isn't all one shade, just like our pigment isn't. But look how much more alive the top part looks, right? Isn't that fun? Anyway, I've been doing this all day, and I was like, well, I wonder if anybody's bored, because it's like, you know, I'm just hanging out here, not doing much, kind of bored myself, I guess, trying to keep busy. And watch that ear. See how flat that ear looks once we go through here? Look how it just comes to life. I just think that's so cool. I used to, my husband and I, when we lived in Japan, we used to like going to the, it was called the MWR, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Place. You know, and we'd find things to do there, and we got into ceramics and stuff. And we used to paint ceramics all the time, so I haven't done that. I haven't painted ceramics in a very long time. But we used to really enjoy doing it. And some older lady who was in there and stuff, I was having a hard time painting, and she's like, try this, it'll make it look more realistic. And I was like, wow, thanks. So it's so nice when we share with each other, you know, different ideas on how to do things and stuff. It helps everybody out. Somebody might know how to do a shortcut and stuff, you know. It's time consuming. It takes a lot of time. You gotta continually like go over it and over it and over it, because I'm too much of a chicken to probably do it the way I need to do it, like the first go around. Because I'm like, like that. I'll fix it. Because at first, if there's too much paint on there, it's going to look like you painted a spot instead of highlighted a spot. That's why you want to go in different directions. Go this away and that away. And it just picks up different things each time you do it. Oh, you paint furniture? Wow. I tried doing that a little bit. I've got a few pieces in my house that I've done, but that's cool. Do you sell it, or do you just do like what you know, for your own personal, for your household? Have you made a business out of it, I guess? Probably have too much paint in my brush still. Oh, there's like a deep groove right there I want to get. Oh, you sell it? So cool. That takes a lot of, I thought at one time that I would do that. It's so much work. It is so much work. Like, you have to sand it and, you know, get it ready and prime it a lot of times and stuff. That's hard work. But I'll bet it's so rewarding. So do you have a shop or anything? Or do you just sell locally, or? Sorry, I'm so, like, curious, Maya. I'm always curious what other people do. And you make wreaths? Do you make wreaths too, Maya? You are a very talented lady. Nice. Nice. There's so much talent. I am so glad that people have learned to, you know, just take advantage of their talents and try to use them, and instead of just going and only doing it as a hobby. So many people are trying to make a living out of it, and I think that's so cool. I've done this, I think my brush is going to break. I've been doing this so much today. Oh, hey Mom, how are you doing? Just thought I'd jump on here today, trying to keep busy. Oh, you do make wreaths too. The nice thing about artists and people that are creative, I think, is that we are very versatile. We can do a lot of different kinds of things. We're not like limited to just one or two things. There's so many people that can do so many different things. Isn't Laura's group awesome? Oh, nobody knew I was going live. I was just painting, and actually Laura, my mentor from Laura Jean's Wreath Room, she went live earlier and showed a mannequin that she's been working on, and it was looking so fabulous, and she thought she would just share what she was doing, and I was like, well, I'm sitting here painting today. I could probably show people and, you know, maybe somebody be interested in watching, or maybe someone's bored today. Oh, you should show us a picture of your furniture if you can. Or send it to me. I'd like to see what you do. I finished just a couple pieces that I have in my house, and it was like, ugh. I hated the sanding bit. Like, all the prep work is what sucks. Prepping to do the fun stuff. Hi, Kathy. Well, just making Frankensteins here. I've got some Frankensteins that I'm working on, and I'm just dry brushing them now, kind of trying to make them come to life a little more. And so yeah, we're just doing Frankensteins this afternoon. So remember, just very little on your paintbrush. Don't put a lot on there, or you won't be happy with what happens. Better to do a lot of smaller strokes than one big glob, and then you make a mistake and then you're not happy with how it turned out. But you can see where we've been and where we haven't been clearly, and where we still need to go, little bits here and there. So it's just a matter of, you know, taking your time, going through, and just making all kinds of shadows and highlights all over him. And I should not have done the red bit here. I should have waited till afterwards, because it just gets covered up with the green. Well, I did put one in a wreath. I might do one more wreath, and then I think I'm just going to put the rest in my Etsy shop, in case somebody else would like to make something with them, who doesn't want to take the time to paint them. They're very, 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 very time consuming. I mean, by the time you get to this point, you've got quite a bit of time invested in them, you know. And not everybody can take the time to do that, so I thought, well, I'll make a few because I kind of like it, you know, it's fun. So a few will be in my Etsy shop, and then I might make one more wreath with one of them. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you wouldn't mind sharing, that would be awesome. And sorry I missed my live last week, and what, did I miss both of them last week? I don't know. Things have been kind of crazy. Summers are very hard for me to do, like to do lives and stuff, because there's so much on the farm that needs to be done. You know, there's so much outside stuff to do that it's hard to justify staying in the house when it's not storming outside or something. It's been so hot though, so hot. So I'm glad to be in the house, actually. Hi, Karen. Welcome. I wasn't sure if in the middle of the afternoon anybody would be on or anything. So I'm surprised that we have so many people that are willing to hang out in the middle of the afternoon on an unscheduled time. I'm grateful. Okay, so I'm just going to do the back of his head a little bit more. got some spots to work on. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate you so much. You know, I'm trying to be really consistent. I've been trying to be really consistent, but it's so hard for me. With my brain injury, things affect me so easily, and then I can't work. Or I need to work and I can't focus on being able to talk and work at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay. I think this one's done. Oh, we need to work on his nose a little bit. Guys, I'm breaking this poor brush. So here, there's no highlights in here, so I need to just kind of get in there and shove those brush strokes in there a little bit, up around his nostrils. And then I don't have any highlighting through here, so let's just highlight his nose a little bit. And then we're going to have to go over, pretty much down here. We're going to have to go over all that red again. So, and it just didn't pick up in some places as much as I wanted it to. Because I really want the three-dimensional, you know, three-dimensional look. And somebody was telling me, who was telling me? I think it was, maybe it was was it Maya? Somebody was telling me, was it last week or so, that Michael's has these now, these busts, and it has like the scarring and stuff already on it. So if that's the case, that's pretty cool, you know, because then you don't have to take the time to sculpt and mold all of these stitching marks and scars. So, okay, I think he's done. And we're going to move on to the last one I've got here. And I did not, like I said, I did not, you know, put the red on here because I realized, well, duh, you know, 3/4 of the way through that I'm going to have to redo the red on all that anyway. Oh, hey, Brenda. Hey, friend. How are you? How is your puppy? Fred's life seems so nice. So it's always fun to look at this, like, right away. So it looks pretty matte, you know, pretty matte finish there. And then once you start taking the brush and, you know, lightly going over the scarring stuff, it just brings that area to so, I'm alive, you know? Yeah, my arm must be tired. Yeah. Yeah, I had a cramp in it earlier. I was telling my daughter, I was like, oh my God, I got a cramp in my arm. Because you have to press firmly and stuff once you get to a certain point. I had too much on my brush, so I'm going to have to do a lot of blending to blend that in. The top I'm not worried about because it'll be red, and then I'll have stitching going across it. But that's why you got to keep your brush in check and not have too much on it. Look how it just picks up those highlights. I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh, Kathy, it takes about, oh geez, probably by the time you're done, all the time you have invested in one, I would say, well, and I'm not an artist. I mean, I'm not a, like a painter. So it takes me probably longer than it would take someone who has actual painting talent. I probably have a good 5 hours in each one. I'm not going to have, so these will be different than, say, my Alice in Wonderland. When I put Alice in Wonderland on my Etsy, I will have her decorated. So obviously she'll be more because the cost of the florals and stuff. But, I don't know, I think I'm going to put these guys on, probably 40, 45 is what I'm thinking. Because there's spackle, there's paint, there's glue, there's my time. So probably about $40 for the ones, and they won't have anything else done to them, you know. It'll just be the busts. So I think about $40 or $45 is what they'll be without shipping. Without free shipping, that is. So but I haven't ever sold these before, so I don't know if they'll, you know, I don't know if they're going to sell or if they won't sell, or if I'll end up keeping them next year and just making more wreaths out of them, or making more wreaths out of them this year. Who knows? You never know until you go for it, right? You don't know what people would like and what they... Sometimes I do things and I'm thinking, oh, people will really like this, and then nobody likes it. Anybody else do that too? Nobody likes it but me. And then you're left stuck with stuff that you find amazing, but nobody else was thinking it was amazing. So, but yeah, all the scarring and distorted chins. I built out the chins. I kind of distorted like one side of the nose so that it wasn't, you know, like a perfect face anymore, so that he did look like he was thrown together by putting some bodies together and stuff and dead things. And I shouldn't have painted. Now the black I did want some of the dry brushing to blend into it, but I didn't want it inside here, any of the dry brushing. I wanted that a little bit darker. So, but I shouldn't have painted the lips, because the lips I want to be dark, and the stitches I want to be dark without any fading. So, yeah, Suzanne. Yeah, sometimes I'm just thinking, oh wow, that's going to be great this year. And then it's like, flop. No, it wasn't. But, and you might think that $40 or $45, you know, isn't a lot for your time. But I enjoy making them, I guess. It keeps me busy. Well, I could be busy doing a whole lot of other things. I don't need something to keep me busy, but I need something to keep my brain from going to places it shouldn't. I have severe PTSD, and so it's important that I keep keep in the present and keep busy doing things that are productive. Look at that. We're getting there, aren't we? Then after we do this, we're going to do their, I'll pick one, and then I'll finish one with you today, and then I'll just finish the rest by myself. But I just thought you guys might like to see how it's done, or at least how I do it. I'm sure my brush is breaking. I'm gonna have to super glue it or something. And every once in a while, if you're doing a lot, you have to stop and wash out your brush because the paint dries on there. And it starts to kind of ruin the brush, and so you're not getting in the grooves and stuff like you wanted to. Oh, I hope so, Mom. I hope so. That's the goal. You know, when we make something, if we can dare to part with it, we hope it sells. But it's important to go all kinds of directions, because then you pick up all kinds of little canyons and valleys and stuff that you didn't, like, you never knew were there when you start going in all different directions. We are having a cool down in Colorado this week. Thank goodness. We had some temperatures that were really, really crazy and stunk like 100 degrees and stuff. And, you know, we're supposed to be a more mild climate, but we have had some super, super hot days. Hi, Sharon. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Thank you. It took a little bit to get me to, because I'm like, nobody's going to want to do lives and stuff. I just didn't think people would be interested in seeing how the process of stuff. But I'm learning, you know, I like going to YouTube, or I love watching Laura Jean create things, you know, and to try and see how her mind works, or other people, how their mind works and stuff. I just feel kind of panicked sometimes when I don't have a plan completely thought through. I'm like, they're going to see I'm complete idiots. They're going to just think I'm crazy, but I think everybody, it's about, there we went. All right, so I'll try doing it with just the short one here. I'll have to super glue or hot glue that in, I think. Anyway, I enjoy watching other people and stuff. Sometimes when I get stuck and I don't know what to do because it's not looking how I wanted it to, whew, that freaks me out. Especially if I'm on with y'all. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. They're all so smart and they know exactly what to do all the time, and I don't. Okay, so my poor little brush here is not very happy with me. Yeah, Kara, for sure. What's that say? You know, crapola happens. I won't swear, but Normally I am a little bit of a potty mouth, so I try real hard not to swear. But anyway, crap happens, right? And by watching other people, I learned that it's normal, that it's like not just me, you know? When people are doing lives, they can't, you know, they can't always be perfect. Some people seem to have it all together more than others, but heck, we're all at different stages of development. Yeah, just be real, right? Just be real. Okay. All right, we're almost done with this bit. Oh, look, there was some I didn't pick it up the first time because there wasn't enough paint on my brush. How's he looking? You like him? I'm just going to get above his eyebrows a little bit lighter. And this poor little brush. I might have to raise the price just because I've gone through some brushes. The brushes are expensive. Okay. I'm happy with how he's doing here. There we go. Having a little more paint on there helped, didn't it? Okay. So let me see. I gotta try to put this on so I can put it in the water. Okay. Let it soak in the water a little bit. It's called An Artist at Work. Yeah, I understand that, Mom, for sure. My mom on here, y'all, used to be a welder, and she used to like weld beautiful designs. She used to create art out of like old farm things. So let's take one of these. Let's pick this guy here. Okay, so all right, so like I said, we are going to have to go over all of his cuts real quick. So we're using our Christmas red, right? Christmas red. And then I just get a flat brush. Find my flat brush. Nope. And then I just use a flat brush and dip both of the ends in. I gotta put my glasses on for this. And then I just touch the very tip of the scar, or the cut. And then some areas I'll make a little wider than others if where I sculpted it, it's a little wider. Sometimes it's hard to get in here. But most of the time you can just run your brush across the top like this. And everything that was green, because it was a raised area, is now red. So we just, sounds like one of the dogs jumped the gate. We have like gates around our house because we've got 3 big dogs, and 2 of them don't get along at all. So we have like baby gates all over our house to keep dogs separated. And one of them I heard just jumped over the fence. So he might come in here. And I'm sure it was Prometheus. So there's one, and actually I need one to dry so that I can show you how to do the stitching. So this will dry pretty quickly. So while I'm waiting for that one to dry, we'll just do this one real quick too. So you just pick the very top bits, and I just kind of put a glob of paint on there. Oh my gosh, you fractured your back? Oh my gosh. Yeah, they can be so dangerous. Oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, are you walking around or are you bedridden for a while? My gosh. I'm always afraid because 2 of the gates are where the like our stairs in the house are, at the top of the stairs and the bottom of the stairs, and I'm always so careful when I go over them, because I just know someday I'm gonna biff it all the way down the stairs. Okay, so just bring that around here like that. And this bit's pretty easy. I wonder if on those busts that you can buy at Michael's, if they'll have like texture to them, or if they're smooth. That's one thing I was thinking about, you know, because this has all this texture, and so you get all this wonderful depth and stuff. So I wonder, I was just at Michael's too, and I didn't even think to look. Michael's has 70% off a lot of florals right now. At least our Michael's does. You're in a back brace for 3 months. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're okay, Kathy, because that could have been real serious. I mean, it is serious, but gosh. Yeah, I'm always scared that I'm going to totally biff it. You know, you get one leg over and you think the other leg's going to go, and you didn't quite raise that other leg as far as you should have. Okay. I think that this one is... Oh, crap, it's not dry yet. Okay. Well, we'll do one more. Then it should be dry. And then we'll do stitches. Okay. The spackling was a pain in the bum, but it was the only thing I could think to use that was really lightweight. You know, because everything we do in the wreathing business, we try to make as light as possible because the cost of shipping things is crazy. Well, hello, Prometheus. Did you jump the fence? Hi, Bo. You did too, huh? Oh, your shoe got hung up on it. Oh, yeah, right. And we shouldn't. We should just take them down. But like I said, I have them all over my house, and it's such a pain. But you're right. You're right. I'll probably be much better off if I just take them down when I need to get through. Yeah, sometimes we learn things the hard way. So I'll try to take your experience and learn from it. Well, Prometheus is kind of a... Prometheus is my daughter's German Shepherd. We've had him since he was a baby. And he just, I don't know, he just decides he doesn't want to be alone in the other room anymore, or he'll hear something. He does not like high-pitched sounds like gunshots or anything like that. And we live in the country. People are always shooting guns off all the time. Okay. Let's see if this is dry. Some bits are dry. There's a cup, actually. Okay, sorry. We're going to do one more. It is not dry enough to do stitches yet. So in case you're just joining, I'm just using Christmas red to bring out the cuts on Frankenstein. And I'm just touching the top surface of these raised areas that I made with spackle. Then I sealed it up with Elmer's glue, white Elmer's glue. And then after I'm done, oh, did you see that? I had a drip. Got a little bit too fast. It's okay, we'll blend it into the design, right? We'll seal it up with like Mod Podge or something when we're done. Actually, it will be Mod Podge because that's what I've been doing. And I will have to go back over his lips because I do want his lips nice and dark black. So if you decide to make these, there's definitely a process. Many different stages that you have to do. Very time consuming. But I mean, they're fun. Super fun. Yes, he has so much anxiety, which I don't even know where he gets it from because, well, we used to go out shooting and stuff all the time, and he would come and he was fine with it then, but as he gets older, he's just getting a little bit more anxious. I don't quite know why. My other German Shepherd, who just passed away about 2 months ago now, nothing bothered her. She didn't care about loud noises or anything. Okay, guys, I'm going to do this last one here, and then we'll do stitching. Been thinking about adopting another German Shepherd. I do have a dog. His name is Odysseus, and he's a mix. He's just kind of he's a Saint Bernard, who knows what, mix. And he's pretty much useless when it comes to I don't know, being a bodyguard or something like that. He's like such a chicken when it comes to anything and everything. He's just such a chicken. And I just feel better when I have an animal that will protect me, especially like a dog. So, being a cop for a long time, you know, I used to help a little bit with the canine unit. And the dogs are amazing. It's amazing what they can do and what they can learn. Oh, you want to see it? I actually have it behind me. I'll move the camera here and show you in just a second. And actually, I did it on a live, and I didn't like how I finished it, so I put it up on the wall behind me yesterday, because I was going to work on it, just add a little bit more to it or something. Sometimes I have to get away from a wreath for a little while to see, you know, where I want to take it and why it's not looking how I wanted it to. Okay. All right, we'll put that one in the tank there. All right, where's the first one? Not you, you're wet. I think it was this guy. Push these guys back. And the same thing with the Medusas that I was working on. I did not like how they turned out. So I have them over there, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but it just didn't like live up to my standards, I guess. So okay, here is this the one I started off with? Or no, it was this one. Yeah, this one's mostly dry. All right, we will just play musical Frankensteins. Okay, so all I'm going to use is just a basic black. This is called Midnight. Well, is this black? No, this one's blue. Good thing I looked. This one's black. Yeah, just basic black. And then you get a fine. How do I attach those? Oh, you mean how do I attach the head to a wreath? Is that what you're wanting to know? There's lots of different ways that you can, oh, let me see. Okay, hold on. Hold on, I'm going to, don't look at me. I look terrible today. So, let me just move my camera a little bit. So, can you see him? I can't really get any closer because of my cord. But I put him in that wreath. So, and then I did another one. And I'm not finished with that one yet either. I wasn't happy how it turned out, so I'm going to redo that one too. But let me just put this stand back. But yeah, so that's, and how I attached them was that oh, darn it. I put a wire, just a, like a 16 gauge wire through the back part of their head. So I took the wire from just behind the ear here, and I came out over here, and then I bend the wires back, and then I just wrap them around the wreath form. And that's how I did it. Oh, thank you guys. Thanks. But, so it's pretty easy to do. Okay, so now I just need to find an ultra thin, yeah. Okay. All right. Let me zoom back in here so you're not looking at me. Okay, how's that? Okay, so my idea of the stitches is that they need to be kind of really not, kind of more random and sporadic and stuff, so I don't try to get each stitch the same or anything. I just go through and I put the stitches in, just kind of willy-nilly. And then I'll do one kind of going this way. Whoop. I'll do one going straight across. And then we'll come back this way. You can just put them as close together or as far apart as you want, because this is, you know, a mad scientist doctor after all, right? I did do the female one live. Oh, Kathy, which wreath? The wreath or the rail? So the wreath, behind me, I'm not sure how much he is yet because he's not actually finished. But my goal is to get him finished here within the next few days and get him on my Etsy page, along with several others. I'm good about making wreaths. I'm just not good about getting them out on my shop. You know what I mean? But in the next day or two, I'll let you know. But I did do the female one on my live, and I just didn't like how she ended up. Like she's missing something. You know, you just have that feeling like it just needs one little thing. And the Frankenstein I tried to keep pretty masculine. I don't want him to be you know, with flowers or anything like that. So I tried to keep him pretty masculine. Oops. Well, that one turned out a lot thicker than I wanted it to. Dangumit. So what do you think? So that's how I make the stitches. And so they just take a bit of time. And then we're just going to do one kind of cross like this, going over both of them. And then one more right here. Oops, too much paint. You gotta make sure you don't have too much paint on your brush. And we are going to make his lip a little more black. So we're just going to cover up those green highlights a bit. This stuff takes so much concentration. I don't see very well anymore. Thanks, Kathy. I just don't see real great anymore, so I have to have these glasses on, and then sometimes I have to get out a magnifying glass or something. Okay, this is still kind of wet up there, so I'm going to come down here and start down here. So every kind of which way, just make the stitches just real random. I might be doing them a little close together. I do them a little further apart. So once we get his eyes in there, he's going to look pretty good, don't you think? Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, this didn't have anything to do with the virus. Well, it did in a way. My sister's dad died. She's my half-sister. And she was with him and taking care of him and stuff. And he passed, I think it was I don't even know. Actually, I have no idea what day it was. I don't remember. But I wanted to be there for her, but she did not want me to travel because of the virus. And so I didn't, because I didn't want to stress her out. And my husband and I had the virus back in March. So she just didn't want us taking the risk and everything, and so I wasn't able to be there for her, and that was like hard because, you know, we love family and we want to be there for them when they go through a rough and terrible time. And, you know, I can't imagine the only thing worse than losing a parent is losing a child, and I've lost a child, so I know the pain and agony that you go through when you lose someone close to you. And so I just wanted to be there for her, and I wasn't able to, so I was just having a hard time with that. And the fact that, you know, that he was gone and stuff, so. But thank you. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. So here we go. We've got Frankenstein with his stitches. And I'm just going to make this bottom lip just a little bit wider, I think. Just a tad. Okay. And then all we have left is his eyes. So we will do his eyes. Let me put this in the water. I'm going to need that brush in a second. Hold on, I need a drink. Well, we got the virus. I think we got the virus. We had a family member, my aunt, who was in the hospital, and they didn't expect her to make it, and so they said, you better come within 24 hours. So we flew to Oklahoma to be with her, and I think that's how we got the virus, is by traveling on an airplane. And back then, in March, if you remember, there was no testing. They had no tests, didn't know what to do with anybody, because this was like the first week in March. And so it was really, really difficult. So to this day, my husband and I were sick for 7 weeks. We had a fever every single day. I did go to the emergency room once, but my husband couldn't come with me, and so I decided to leave and come home, and decided if I was going to die, I was not going to die in a hospital bed without my family. So, but everything worked out good, and we do have a lot of residual kind of things happening that we think are from the virus, but anyway, we're pretty good now. You know, we're a lot luckier than some. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, I should have showed you. So the yellow that I'm using for his eyes is school bus yellow. So, and I'm just going through, and this one's going to take a couple of coats to really get that black to not show. if anybody's local to, you know, northern Colorado, the closest town we live to is probably Kersey or Greeley area. I am looking for more customers for eggs, if I have any locals on here. I have quite a few chickens, and I've got a whole bunch more that are gonna be old enough to start laying here in another month or two, or a couple more months actually. So I'm trying to expand my chicken lovers, my egg base. Okay. So we're going to wait for that to dry a little bit, and we will just do another one while I have all this yellow out. You love, oh, you're all the way in Virginia. Yeah. Fresh eggs are the best, aren't they, Suzanne? Like, people just don't know. Well, and some people are just, you know, never been in the country or on a farm, and so they don't know. Like, things about eggs that most people don't know. You don't have to have a rooster to have eggs. Having one rooster around is kind of nice. It keeps the girls kind of a little more active than they would be, but a chicken does not need a rooster to lay eggs. And let's see, what's another fact that people are always like, really? Oh, farm fresh eggs. Some people are very sensitive to if the egg is dirty or not. But I will tell you, once you wash an egg, you have to refrigerate it. When the egg comes out, it has a protective membrane on it. And so, you know, if you get fresh eggs from a farm and they don't wash them, like most of my eggs I don't wash. If they're, you know, pretty dirty or whatever, then I'll wash it, but once you wash it, it has to be refrigerated or it'll go bad. If you don't wash it, it'll last a couple months out on the counter. You don't even have to refrigerate it. But fresh... Oh boy. Did I get you back? Nope. I think I lost you guys. Yes, they're styrofoam. Hi, Candy. Sorry, I lost y'all for a minute there. They are styrofoam heads. And I did all the sculpting of the scars and stuff on here. You had the virus the first week of March too? Oh, hold on. It's scrolled up. Oh. He's still having problems. He got it from the clinic. Yeah, Sharon, for sure. For sure. Well, I'm glad you guys are okay. Yeah, isn't that a cool thing to know about fresh eggs? Yeah. We had a family member who came to visit us, and they currently live in the Philippines. And he was talking about how they didn't refrigerate eggs and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to. What are you talking about? That's disgusting. Well, I was just naive and didn't know. Then we moved out here and I started keeping chickens, and what the heck, you know? So something happened the other day. We went out, we have chickens. You haven't seen them this big before? Oh, I just got these here. I just got these at Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you what they look like when they started off. Okay. Let me grab the styrofoam head back here. So they start off like this. Just a styrofoam head that you pick up from Hobby Lobby. They're like $8. And he's, you know, perfect features and stuff. And so I added all of the sculpting. I widened the brow. I widened the chin. Kind of made the nose a little bit awkward. So I added all that when we're painting it today. So yeah, Candy, you can get them at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so let's put on another coat here on this first guy, because we don't want that black showing through. And sometimes it takes 3 or 4 coats because that black is pretty distinctive. They might look bigger on camera. I have the camera pretty close so that y'all can see too. And then we're just, oops, yeah, that had a little bit of wet paint on it. Just making his eye yellow so that I can put his iris and things on there. Oh, missed this one, didn't I? Yeah, Candy. So the first thing I did for these is I used spackle and I created all the scarring. And then after I finished that, I painted it with white Elmer's glue, a nice, really thick layer of Elmer's glue. And that kind of sealed it and kind of created like a primed surface to paint. And so once that was dry, then I, let's see, once the glue was dry, and then I painted them all green. Just I believe it was called a Hauser green, just with the folk art paint, you know, that you can pick up at Hobby Lobby. No kind of special paints or anything like that required. And then after I painted them a solid green, then I went through and dry brushed them so that it had dimension to it. And dry brushing is the process of, you take a brush that kind of looks like this, and you put it in paint, and you pretty much want it dry on there. You don't want a lot of paint. And then you just take it and you rub it on things, and the light paint sticks to the high areas. So that's how we got all that on there. That's not drying as fast as I would like. Oh, no, we're all here to ask questions and find out how to do stuff, right? Oh, you meant what got me interested in painting them. Oh, I'm sorry. I just went on and on and on about how to do it. You know, I don't know one of my sisters in the design group, I am in LJ design group. Let's see. LJ's Designer Loft. And it's Laura Jean's Wreath Room. She's got a private group. And one of the ladies in there, I'm trying to remember, her name's Trisha. Sweet Teas Craft. I'll try to figure out who's her website and try to put it on here later. But anyway, she did one, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and she did such a good job. And I was like, I wonder if I can do those. Those are so pretty. And she did like a I don't know, it was a female, and I don't remember what the might have been Christmas. It might have been like a Christmas elf lady or something. But I just thought she was so beautiful. I wanted to know if I had the talent to do it too. And so I just thought, I'll give it a try and see. And they're so fun to do. Because, you know, wreath makers, sometimes you spend so much money buying things to put in your wreath. Actually, I got to make this eye a little bigger. And then it makes it so expensive. And if we could just make a few more things, which does take time, we might not have to charge as much for our wreaths and stuff. So I'm all about trying things. So that's how I started it. So I've done a few of them now. Oh, okay. And then there was a lady on the, she's really talented. I think she has a thing on YouTube. I can't remember her name, but she does heads and then decorates heads. And sometimes she puts them in a wreath and sometimes she doesn't. And creepy Halloween stuff or something like that, I think is her website. But there's so much talent out there, and then we see things, and the best form of flattery is to copy. But you don't copy exactly, of course. You copy with your own sense of style, whatever you're into, you know. Never ever copy another artist's work and try to claim it as your own. That's bad juju. Totally bad juju. Okay. As soon as that dries, I think we'll be able to, like, put the eyeball in. And then, eyes are so hard, y'all. It's hard to get them the same. That's what, in my first ones I did, I, had one eye, like, covered or one eye closed because I couldn't get the eyes the same, you know. So oh, she did. Oh, I'll have to check her out. I'll have to check her out. There's so many awesome groups out there, you guys. There's a group for everything, to learn how to do anything. I never knew all this until I started, like, watching Laura Jean and other people. I was like, wow, there's so much talent out there, and everybody's willing to share it. And then you have specialty groups, you know, to where if you want to get a little more in-depth learning and stuff, you can totally do it. Which I would love to get involved in learning how to do eyes. Because I am not that great with eyes, y'all. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this one in there too. Awesome. So I do have, so I have this Queen of Hearts that I'm going to put in my Etsy once I haven't decided yet. I might decorate her or I might not. I might just put her in my Etsy like this, but I really enjoy decorating, so I probably will decorate her. But so I'll be putting her in my Etsy shop, and then I have these Medusas. So I made 4 Medusas, and so this is Medusa without her headdress on. So, and then I bought these headdresses to put on, a few of them. One I'm just going to do with snakes indifferently. But I didn't like how it was looking when it's all together, but I think I have a solution. I am going to be I think I'm going to put moss mixed in between the snakes and kind of around to kind of make her a little bit, to make it better. I just don't like it. I don't like how she turned out. So maybe it's just the headdress I don't like. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so once I get these scary ones done, I thanks, Candy. Oh, hi, Marilyn. I got the heads at Hobby Lobby. And they just look like this when you get them from Hobby Lobby. Just a styrofoam head, like a perfect mannequin head. And then I sculpted all the scarring and the jaw and the nose and stuff to make it kind of look monster-like. But anyway, let's see if the eye is dry enough to do. It might be. It might be. Let me see here. So I just made the eye black on this other one. So I'm going to just make it black. So it's a little wet, but I think I can put enough paint on there that it'll. This part always stresses me out. I'm constantly turning them upside down and inside out and around and about. Because you got to get curves on the outside of the iris. So once you get the curves, then they're doing pretty good. I was told, and I can't remember who told me, but I was told that Michael's has some that have the scarring and stuff on them, and I was wondering if they were smooth or if they had the texture. I like the texture because you can make it a little more 3D, or three-dimensional, kind of more realistic. But so I don't know. And I think they got, somebody told me they were at Michael's. It's a little wet right there. Okay. So that's all I did. And then we're going to put some white in his, like a little glare thing on there to make it look a little bit more, real. So we'll just do one more here while I'm waiting for that black to kind of dry. Here. I'm really not good at eyes, you guys. I just don't. Man, we keep flipping it around. I hope I don't make you guys dizzy by flipping this around so much. I just don't know how else I would do it. Flipping them around so much. Gotta round this side out just a little bit more. That is a process. What is the process? What are you talking about? Taught in group. When we joined the group, we had to agree not to share the information. Are you talking about Laura Jean's group? prepping the heads to get a smooth finish. Oh, I don't know that I learned that from Laura Jean. So I didn't learn that from Laura Jean. I actually learned that on YouTube from a man that tried different ways, and he said that one was the best way. So I didn't learn it from Laura Jean. So I'm pretty confident that I'm not sharing anything I'm not supposed to. And I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. All right. Okay. Let's see if that first one is dry so that we can just put, and I'll show you. I just put like a couple of little white spots in there. And I'm not sure how you're supposed to do it, but I just kind of pick a couple spots and I just have white here that is just snow titanium white. Actually, let me see if I have one that's open. And I have to open this one. I must have used all my other one. So, and I just got these at Hobby Lobby when they had like 30% off. Oh, hey Heather. Welcome. So, when they had 30% off, I just, oops. Oh, please shake paint first. Okay. Alright, don't need very much. So, I'm not sure how you're like supposed to do it, but I just like pick a couple of spots and pluck in some white bits. And you don't even have to wait until it's like, and his eyes are kind of blown out anyway. Thank you. Thank you so much, Heather. You know, so he's a monster, so it doesn't have to be perfect, is like my thought process. So, yeah. So that's how I thought I'd make mine. What do you think? No, honey, I'm not. Oh, Heather, who just came in, is the owner of Creepy Holiday Stuff. You do. Oh, so Heather. Oh my gosh, Heather, you are so talented. I've seen so much of your work. I'm so, oh my gosh. I'm like, thank you for stopping in. Oh my gosh. And to even say mine are okay is amazing hearing it from you. Thank you so much, Heather. Oh my gosh, that means so much to me. Oh no. Sorry, I have it on quiet. I don't know why it did that. Or do not disturb. Oh, no, yours are so awesome. Especially that witch that you have that's winking. Oh my gosh. I love her. I couldn't do that kind of facial expression. I have to keep it like basic because I can't paint. But, oh, and some of the, oh, y'all, Heather is very talented. If you are interested in heads and stuff, you should go to, Heather, feel free to put your link in here if you want to. Creepy Holiday, crap. Heather, put your link in here so people can go look at your stuff if they want to see someone who really knows what they're doing. So, feel free. Feel free to share. Anyway, so this is how I do mine. Oh, the bolts, Heather. The bolts are just, I cut 2-inch long dowels. So they're just 2 inches long. And then I took like a knife and made a hole in the side of his neck and put like, you know, a 1/2 inch of it in there with some hot glue. And then I covered it with spackle as I was molding or sculpting all the scars and stuff. So, and then when I'm done, I cover the end bit with a little bit of aluminum foil. And then I have the aluminum foil just stick over the edges just a little bit. But, yeah. Oh. I'll bet. Oh, Heather, do you have a group to learn how to paint eyes and stuff? I did not know that. Okay. So I am just like putting 2 dots in my eyeballs here. And then when all this is done, then I'm going to put, thank you, Candy, thank you. So when I'm done, when these are dry, I won't be able to do it on right now because they'll need to dry. But I just use Mod Podge to seal the whole thing, and you can either use matte or a gloss. It just depends on what you want to do. So that's how I'll seal the whole thing when it's done. But for those of you that were wanting to know how, let me see, I'm going to push these back. Let me open this up a little bit. So let me just push these guys aside, and I'll show you kind of how I attached the wreath. Attached it to a wreath. Because there's a lot of ways. I've seen people do it. I've seen people just glue them in. I've seen people, you know, use pipe cleaners and all kinds of things to put them in their wreaths. But so on this guy, let me see if I can get him on here so you can see. Okay. So I don't know if you can see. Can you see his, so there's the aluminum foil on there. Can you see that? Just to make it a little bit different. And what I did was, so I took probably, this is 16 gauge wire on this one, but I've used up to 18-inch wire. And so I've stuck the wire, I stuck the wire through his head, through the back of it, and then you push it through, halfway through your wreath when you get all the mesh in, and then you just wrap the wire around this, and then I put a dollop of hot glue on it. And then this, I mean, he is not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about them falling out of your wreaths or anything like that. So that's what I did for him. And he was one of my firsts. So, you know, I learned a lot of different things from doing him. But he was the first Frankenstein I did. Hey, Felice. Is that how I say your name? I hope that's how I say your name. Oh, thanks, Heather. Yeah, so that's how I did it. I just came up with a way to kind of, you know, do that. And then I also did that for her. Let me see if I can get her down here and show you. So, with her, I actually put her on a rail instead of a wreath. And so, when I put her on, you know, the rails are much thinner, narrow. And so, but I did the same thing. I just put the wire through the back of her head, and then I adhered the wire to the rail itself. So yeah, that's how I've put mine in. If anybody has a better way of doing it, I would love to know. Because you know, it's all hit or miss. You know, you can find ideas out there and just create your own and everything. But that's how I've done them. My next one that I want to do is going to be, oops, here I am. So the next one I want to do is a Christmas elf. So I really want to do a Christmas elf and make her really like blingy and stuff, but I just haven't decided on the colors that I want to use on her yet. So we'll have to see. But yeah, she doesn't have a second eye because I couldn't do them the same. So you just come up with creative ways to fill in the gaps where your skills might not be, you know, up to where you want them to be. So thank you, Sharon. Hi, Adlin. Thank you. That would be awesome, Candy. I'm always interested to know how other people, you know, do it and stuff. Because I just buy, let's see. You know, I just get these. And I think this one's 18 gauge wire. 16 gauge. And so I just put this right through the back of the head. So, yeah. Isn't it neat we can learn from each other? Okay, well, thanks for joining me while I did all that. I am going to be working on my Medusa problem because I'm just not sure. It just might be the head thing that I bought. Or maybe I painted her the wrong color. I just don't know yet. So I may end up just painting her like a stone color. I don't know. I don't like how she blends in with the snakes. But I'm going to try moss first. I think moss might make it like a grayer kind of moss. See how that does. But anyway, so that's what I've been up to. And I appreciate all of you. If you wouldn't mind sharing and passing along my videos, I would sure appreciate it. And Heather, don't forget to put your link at the bottom so people can actually see what a real talent looks like when you make heads. I'm very new at it, and I'm just doing it for a short time. So thanks, Candy. I think so too. We'll have to see how it goes. And but thank you guys. I'm still going to go live tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I will be live tomorrow at my regular time at 5 o'clock. So if you are available, please join me and we'll have fun and we'll make something beautiful together. So until then, please take care and be safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.